Hello there guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you these new 4-4-2 custom tactics in FIFA 21. So I'm going to get straight into it here, but before I start I want to say please subscribe if you're interested. It really helps me out a lot. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go straight into tactics. It is saved to my ultra defensive, but don't worry, these are the balanced tactics. I will be changing the sliders obviously as we go through, and this is just where I put it. So the defensive style, I'm going to keep it balanced if you're going to use this balanced formation. 5 width, just because it's very balanced formation in terms of width and positions of the players, and then depth 4 to 6, depending on how comfortable you feel defending. So sort of 5 about average, or maybe 4 or 6. Even further if you want to, but I recommend trying to keep it within 4 or 6 range. So personally I use 5. Offensive style, balanced, long ball or fast build up, that's up to you. Because it's such a balanced formation, almost everything works well. I would not go with possession because it's much harder to start an attack. Fast build up, I personally don't recommend it. Long ball is pretty good to try and get it to your wingers and start attacks quicker, but I feel like it wastes the midfielders quite a lot, so personally I do use balance, but that's up to you. I stick with 5 width and I also use 5 players in box. Corners and free kicks, I use 3 on corners and 1 on free kicks. But now for the player instructions, both the strikers I leave on balanced width. You can use stay central if you want to. They both work as well as each other, so that's up to you. Sometimes stay central can be a bit harder to find the player up front, because they're sort of just staying in the same position, but that's up to you, or if you want to go over there. Attacking runs, make sure you have getting behind on to make those through balls much easier. Stay forward on both of them as well. So stay forward and getting behind, and also stay central if you want it. The 2 centre mids, because the 4-4-2 second variant, which I did yesterday, has 2 TDMs, it's a bit different with centre mids. There's sort of a gap created here. There's no gap, the gap is filled up, but it can be a little bit harder to defend. So we'll get into those in a minute, but with the wider players, the left mid and right mid, personally I like to leave those default, but if you feel like you want to cut inside and use them more as attackers as well, use cut inside. I would not use stay forward, but you can if you want to. Either way it works well, to be honest. If you don't know when to drop back, use stay forward, but if you want them to help out with defence, keep on basic defensive support. I do use stay forward sometimes, but I sort of switch it depending on how I'm feeling with the game. I personally use balanced width, but cut inside can also be very good. Balanced width is sort of if you want to run down the line and cross it in, and cut inside if you want to more cut in and score with your wingers as well. And now for the midfielders, so that is the same for both the left mid and right mid. Yes, for the midfielders, what you can do, you make sure you have cover centre on. That is very important for both of them. You do not want them to be on cover wing. And then you can pick one midfielder. You can either leave them both balanced and have them sort of as both midfielders, or if you want to, you can pick one to be an attacking midfielder and one to be more like a CDM. So the one with CDM, if I was to go for example Hernandez, I know these positions are all messed up a lot, but I'm just going to use it here for now. If I go for Hernandez, my more defensive one, if I want to make that my more defensive one, make sure you have cover centre on, and then I would use stay back while attacking. Definitely not drop between defenders because it sort of puts it into the centre back role, and you do not want to make a massive gap there. So just use stay back while attacking, or even balanced attack, but I recommend stay back while attacking. And then for the other one, either keep on balanced attack or use get forward, that's up to you. Get forward would be more like a cam, but they won't really come back as much, but balanced attack will sort of do a mix of both. So that is up to you, depending on how you want to play. But make sure you leave the rest default, you don't want to change anything else there. And now for the centre backs, leave those both default as well. Full-backs, make sure you have overlap on both of them, that's very important, to make sure they're running on the outside of your left mid and right mid when they're attacking. It's just much more useful to make an attack with. Attacking runs, I personally use stay back while attacking. I don't like my full-backs attacking, but if you want to have, if you want them to help out your midfielders, your left and right mid, and you also have very fast full-backs, then I would use balanced attack, but personally I prefer stay back while attacking, as it's much easier to defend with. And lastly for goalkeeper, make sure you have sweeper keeper and comes out for crosses, that's both very important. Comes across, it just stops them winning every single header really. When they're crossing it in, and also from corners, your goalkeeper will challenge a lot more. And sweeper keeper just gives you a much higher chance of saving the one-on-ones when you're defending. But anyway, so these have been the updated 4-4-2 custom tactics in FIFA 21. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more FIFA 21 videos like these, and I'll see you next time, goodbye.